A KCU medical student returns from the Boston Marathon with a new outlook on practicing medicine. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with those details.
President Biden says more military aid is on its way to Ukraine as Russia ramps up its military attacks in the eastern part of the country. I'm Mallory Rivera in Washington, and I'll have details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. Being a medical student is already a difficult task, but one KCU Joplin first-year student went the extra mile, ran the Boston Marathon on Monday. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky caught up with him after the big race and shares how the experience is inspiring him on his journey toward becoming a physician.
Over 28,000 runners made it to Boston on Monday to compete in one of the best-known races in the country. And one of those runners was first-year KCU medical student Daniel O'Kelly.
It's a historic race. The crowd and the spectators are amazing.
This was O'Kelly's first time running in the Boston Marathon.
Health and exercise go really hand in hand. For me, I've always found exercise, especially aerobic exercise, just to be such a fundamental part of my productivity, my drive, and my happiness at large. I've seen exercise as a fundamental part of, my time in medical school. It just helps me be a better student.
Not only has it helped him become a better student, but he says he hopes this experience will also help him become a better physician in the long run.
So while I'll certainly champion running as a physician when I'm trying to keep my patients healthy, I just want them to really see exercise as a positive thing rather than a source of discomfort and pain like a lot of people see it.
But running a marathon isn't a requirement to be a runner. People should take exercise at their own pace.
Not everyone needs to do a marathon to feel accomplished as a runner. Really, it just takes a mile every day, half a mile every day to really feel more resilient, more stronger.
O'Kelly's biggest takeaway from the race, although it was tough, he's ready to try again next year. In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Kelly finished the marathon in under 3 hours. Doug Katie, can you imagine running for 2.5 hours? Goodness.
Nope.
No.
I'm not going to either.
God bless him. All right.
I'll walk it.
I'll walk it. Some of us rather, saw some pretty strong storms earlier today.
Yeah, our northern counties really got a lot of hail out of these storms, especially from Fort Scott, Nevada over towards Stockton Lake. And then everybody else pretty good. We did warm up almost near 80 degrees. It got very mild, very humid out there. Any showers, any thunderstorms we had earlier today, these are gone, so we look good now. We do have some thunderstorms out across western parts of Kansas, but those will not affect us through the overnight hours tonight. Temps are mainly sitting into lower 70s. We're not going to back down too much, but more thunderstorms in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, thank you. Freeman Health System today opened a new clinic in Pittsburgh. Freeman Specialty Clinic is going to provide easier access to specialists for patients living in Pittsburgh rather than driving to the specialty clinic in Joplin. Specialty services at the clinic include kidney care, lung care, and endocrinology services as well. A pain management specialist is going to join the clinic in June.
We will have a variety of specialists that are operating out of this clinic, but to begin with, we have endocrinology, nephrology, and pulmonology, and then we'll be adding pain medicine very soon as well as some other testing services.
The clinic is located at 1606 North Broadway in Pittsburgh. A mural in Joplin honoring Black history is one step closer to reality after a donation from Connect to Culture. C2C today donated a check worth $6,500 to the Langston Hughes Cultural Society. The mural is going to feature famous Black Americans who are either from Joplin or performed in Joplin, including Ella Fitzgerald, Cab Calloway, and Dizzy Gillespie. Officials with the Cultural Society say they are working on deciding where exactly the mural is going to be located.
We are right now securing a spot for it to be painted on, and at that time we'll do an announcement probably, and I'd like to see it projected onto the wall that we're going to use, and then but right now we're in the fundraising process of this.
Connect Culture raised the money from a concert by saxophonist and Joplin native Charles McPherson. In Florida, Fight between Disney and the governor over a controversial new law that limits discussion on sexual identity in public schools is escalating. Republican lawmakers are close to passing a measure to end a special tax district for Disney. Manuel Borquez is following this story, and he joins us now from Orlando.
When Disney World was still just an idea, the Disney family lobbied Florida officials to create a special improvement district governed by Disney and called Reedy Creek. It taxes itself to provide roads, power, and some emergency services. That was 1967. This was the governor's call to lawmakers this week.
But they also will be considering termination of all special districts that were enacted in Florida prior to 1968.
The move comes after Disney publicly condemned Florida's parental rights and education law, which critics call Don't Say Gay, because it prohibits public school instruction on topics related to sexual orientation or gender identity in grades K through 3.
Is this retaliation?
No, I don't think so. But I think that when you kick the hornet's nest, I think sometimes issues rise up that you weren't aware of.
Republican State Representative Randy Fine co-sponsored the bill to strip Disney, the state's largest private employer, of self-governing status.
Disney's charter allows them to build a nuclear power plant. It allows them to build roads without having to follow Florida Department of Transportation standards. And these are not things that may make a lot of sense. Maybe they did 55 years ago, but they don't today.
Fine claims taxpayers won't end up footing the bill if Disney's status goes away. But some say local residents could still end up paying for it, while the district's $1 billion debt from bonds remains an open question.
It's kind of shocking that they would come after Disney for this,
says Aubrey Jewett, a political science professor at the University of Central Florida.
If they do it to Disney, who's been so supportive of Republicans over the last 20 years and so important to Florida's economy, then who wouldn't they do it to?
If the bill becomes law, Disney, one of the state's largest employers, could renegotiate with lawmakers. Still, some question the timing of this bill, alleging it's a distraction from the governor's redrawing of the state's congressional map, which could give Republicans 4 more seats at the expense of 3 from Democrats. Manuel Borquez, CBS News, Orlando.
The war in Ukraine developing by the hour. Today, President Biden announcing an additional $800 million weapons package to Ukraine. He's also calling on Congress to provide more funding. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has the latest now from Washington.
Russia claiming to have fully captured Ukraine's key southeastern city of Mariupol.
To be honest, we are not well.
As the U.S. announces $800 million more in security assistance, including heavy artillery, thousands of rounds of ammunition, and drones.
We're not sitting on the funding that Congress has provided for Ukraine. We're sending it directly to the front lines of freedom, to the fearless and skilled Ukrainian fighters who are standing in the breach.
The U.S. is also giving Ukraine an additional $500 million of emergency funding to keep critical government operations going.
Salaries, pensions, and other social assistance programs necessary to avoid a worsening of the humanitarian situation.
This new round of aid comes as the war enters its second phase. Russia is ramping up its attacks in the eastern region of the country. In Mariupol, Russian forces say they've securely blocked a steel plant where Ukrainian troops are holed up.
The operation continues according to plan. Mariupol, which has become a hub of nationalist formations, has been liberated.
Russia's advance is raising pressure to keep American support flowing.
We've got to keep this coming.
President Biden says the nearly $14 billion that Congress approved last month for Ukraine has been nearly exhausted. He's expected to ask Congress for more money so the U.S. can continue to help. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Joseph Schmidt has served in the U.S. Marines, native of Oswego, Kansas. Schmidt has been stationed in Iraq, and we are proud to thank and salute Staff Sergeant Joseph Schmidt. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug Head is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, Frontenac freshman coming up big for the Raiders in a Southeast Kansas showdown with Chanute. Highlights in sports.
Get ready.
Well, of course, we had more scattered showers and thunderstorms for us today, and some of those were strong to severe, especially in our northern counties as they kind of worked on through during the afternoon into the evening hours. But also at the same time, our temperatures really warmed up. Most of us right around 80 for an afternoon high. We're still mild. We're sitting into the low to mid 70s, and we're just not going to drop off too much tonight. The southerly winds have increased, and that's going to keep our temperatures up as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. Look at the south winds at about 10 to 15, but these will increase as we go into the day for us tomorrow. Currently outside sitting at 73. Southerly winds at about 10, humidity at 73%. And you can see the scattered thunderstorms we had this morning into the afternoon, kind of lifting north and then shifting off toward the east. But look at all the hail reports, especially once you get north of Lamar. Fort Scott up toward Pleasanton, Nevada, El Dorado Springs, Stockton Lake, down toward Lockwood. All those areas picked up quite a bit of hail throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. All these storms are gone. Pretty much everything's fallen apart. We had a few that kind of flared up out across central Kansas, but besides that, not too much going on. Waiting for our next wave building out to the west, which will affect us by the time we head into the weekend. So we do have a severe threat, especially along and north of I-44 as we go into Saturday afternoon and evening. I'm thinking mainly after 4 or 5 p.m. I'm going to say 3 p.m. until about 6 a.m. because we're going to have storms that last all night long. Main threat's going to be hail and wind. We do have a tornado threat. We'll have to see if these threats go up for us during the daytime hours tomorrow. So that's something we want to watch. All right, let's go through tonight. A lot of mid and upper level clouds. We just don't really drop off much. We stay in the upper 60s all night long. So by morning, we break out, we see partly sunny skies, quick warm up into the lower 80s during the afternoon. Here's your day planner, 65 to start, 76 by noon, high temp of 81. Look at those southerly winds at about 15 to 25, so it is going to be windy. The winds stick around tomorrow night into Saturday morning. We are going to get a lot of clouds in here Saturday morning because we are going to have storms out to our west. We may try to get a few little showers going in our western counties by early afternoon, but it's mainly after 4 or 5 p.m. You start to get these thunderstorms which pop up. These will most likely go severe very quickly. You can see 7 p.m. Kansas all the way down through Oklahoma, and this is going to be the part that we will have a tornado threat. And then as we get into the overnight hours, it'll kind of congeal into a line, and then we'll kind of switch over to mainly heavy rain, hail, and wind threat as these continue to work through as we go into Saturday night. So we do want to keep our eyes on that. So I'm going to make late Saturday and early Sunday alert days. Tomorrow looks good, 81, near 80 again on Saturday, 66 Sunday, a little bit cooler early next week, and then severe threat returns Thursday.
I just need a few perfect weekends. No rain, just sunshine, so I can do some outdoor work. Okay. Make it happen.
Okay, I'll work on it.
Oh, Doug Katie, I love messing with you. Thank you so much. Yep. Man. Coming up, look at why it's getting harder and harder for small dairy farmers to stay afloat. For Camera, sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction, as work continues on the KOAM More Power Project. Check it out anytime on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/power. America's small dairy farms are disappearing because of big businesses producing more milk, cheese, ice cream, butter for less money. Fox News multimedia reporter Mel Hayes shows us why some family farmers just can't compete.
Think Costco or Sam's Club. When you buy in bulk, you save money. It's the same idea with farming. If you have a larger farm with more cows, then the cost to produce milk goes down, meaning that those smaller farms that American agriculture was built on, well, they're dying off. There seems to be a red barn on every corner in Waterloo, Wisconsin. But inside, you likely won't see any cattle.
There's a barn over there. See that?
Yeah.
No cows.
George Crave is the head cheesemaker and president at Crave Brothers Farmstead Cheese.
Dairy farming, you have to understand, is a 24/7 operation.
He's seen small dairy farms in Waterloo, Wisconsin vanish over the past 40 years.
There's about 15 farms in the township here that used to milk cows that don't milk cows anymore. However, we produce more milk on this farm than what all those other 15 farms produced in a day.
Last year, Wisconsin lost 360 dairy farms, about 5% of the total. It's a similar story all across the country. Peter Vitaliano is an economist with the National Milk Producers Federation.
The number of farms has been declining, and their average size has been growing.
In the year 2000, there were 83,000 licensed dairy farms in the country. Now there are fewer than 30,000. The Feltz family farm and dairy store started in the 1990s with just 50 cows.
We've grown to be about 600 cows now that we milk. I have noticed, especially in the last 5-10 years, some of those smaller farmers in our area have closed down.
Vitaliano says consolidating into bigger farms usually means lower prices at the grocery store, but inflation is actually increasing prices.
We're looking at historically high milk prices this year, but costs are going to be also historically high because replacement cows are getting hard to find. Labor is very hard.
The economist I spoke with tells me that there is a social cost to the growth of commercial farms. Rural areas are losing population, which means that they are also losing access to medical care, possibly schools. But the farms I spoke with tell me that they give back to the community in other ways through donating to the schools or also providing a place for field trips for local kids. In Stevens Point, Wisconsin, Mills Hayes, Fox News.
All right, still ahead, a new helpful COVID test.
If you're wondering about getting that next COVID-19 vaccine booster, or if you even need it, you're not alone. A new test is on the way that could offer more help. I'm Eben Brown in Miami. I'll have that story straight ahead.
As COVID cases tick back up, a biotech company introduces a new test, one which has the potential to tell you if and when you need a vaccine booster shot. Fox's Eben Brown has more now from Miami.
As the COVID outbreak grinds on, questions are growing about the need for more booster shots, especially for folks who have already had COVID. But Pictor, a New Zealand-based biotech company, is hoping to answer those questions. They've developed the Pict Array, a new type of COVID test. It not only measures how much immunity a patient has, but also what kind, with built-in sensors differentiating between antibodies from vaccines and from COVID infections.
Knowing if they've had prior infection or if their antibodies came about from their vaccinations, and just how high their immunity is or is not.
It's a highly personalized approach some doctors say could be a game changer. Some people with COVID symptoms have been reluctant to take PCR tests because they sometimes result in false positives or negatives. But the Pict Array is acutely sensitive, testing for 2 antibodies on a plate that could test for 25.
By utilizing that extra amount of space and receptors on the plate, we're able to get extreme sensitivity.
Pictor is planning to start deploying the new test soon at long-term care facilities, hoping to provide answers and peace of mind for some of the most vulnerable Americans.
People want real, objective evidence when they have a question mark, and that's what this test provides.
And as more cities and states close down their testing sites, the White House is calling on Congress to authorize more funding to keep testing free. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
So if you've loved Pop-Tarts your whole life, you may remember these right there that seems to poof, just vanish. Well, more on their grand return next. Tarts going grape. The beloved breakfast treat is once again bringing back its frosted grape flavor. Now, I like history. Here's some history. First introduced back in 1967 as one of the original frosted flavors. It was also brought back as a limited time offering in 2014 before being discontinued 3 years later. The brand says the variety soared in popularity, particularly in the 90s. The frosted grape Pop-Tarts are being rolled out in Walmart stores before being released nationwide in May. I don't remember the grape flavor. I was trying to, I like Pop-Tarts. I don't remember the grape flavor though, but just looking at it, it seems pretty good. All right, 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away. Going to learn how a new home in Joplin is meant to save money and help the environment.
A California state prison is now home of what's believed to be the nation's first ever community college campus. It's true. I'm Kevin Cork with a special look at the classes inmates are taking as they earn their degrees behind bars. That's coming right up.
There's a new, unique home in Joplin. All of the appliances are powered by propane. It's a playground that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. But the home, all the appliances are powered by propane. The Missouri Propane Education and Research Council invited people to tour the home today. And the president of the council says ongoing propane costs are efficient.
Well, the cost on propane, if you figure a BTU basis, if you're looking at your electric bill, and certainly electricity is a great thing, so we're not trying to displace all electricity, but propane is about 40% of the cost of electricity on a BTU basis when you figure out all the different costs involved. So it is very efficient.
The Missouri Propane Education and Research Council says propane-powered homes are as safe as homes powered by electricity when the appliances are powered by electricity. Well, it's become a yearly tradition over in Seneca, Missouri. The elementary school does an all-school reading event. This year, the book is Stuart Little, and this year, the elementary school read the book with the intermediate school.
Last year, we had to do the celebrations here at school during the school day. We didn't have parents in because of COVID, but we were so excited to be able to invite families this year and put everybody together and have this big hooray for Stuart Little.
That's it. School staff say the reading event engages parents and promotes family connections. There's a new playground in Miami, Oklahoma, thanks to a grant. City of Miami park crew recently finished installing our pirate ship themed equipment, including slides, a climbing apparatus, crow's nests, a walking bridge, and a swing set. The equipment was paid for with a $24,000 Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust or TEST grant. It's located at the Splash Pad Park area on the truck route in Miami. The tunnel fire continues to explode in size in Arizona. It's one of half a dozen fire crews are responding to across the Southwest. Fox Weather's Max Gordon has more.
Flames raced across dry grass and scattered pines in Flagstaff, Arizona today. Strong wind gusts continued to push the tunnel fire through neighborhoods and once again grounded air crews.
The effectiveness of the water or retardant coming out of the bottom of them is just minimized because it drops and lands somewhere else.
The damage now topping 20,000 acres. The conditions are keeping residents from surveying the damage at their homes. Many were given just minutes to leave. Robert Allison ran back to save his 3 dogs, chickens, and geese.
Glad I have them. I'm glad I've got my girls.
Fire managers say they contained the blaze after it sparked on Sunday and couldn't see any active flames the next day. By Tuesday, the wind took over, sending the fire across containment lines. Residents now wondering if more could have been done.
There was an ember somewhere. Was it in the black? Was it a quarter mile away? Was it further away?
Meanwhile, fire resources remain tight across the Southwest. South of Flagstaff, crews are battling the Crooks Fire, now at more than 2,000 acres. Multiple fires are now burning in New Mexico. Officials say 4 of the country's top-level fire management teams are assigned to battle blazes in Arizona and New Mexico.
It's been unprecedented what we've seen throughout the United States. We are worried about the winds that are coming.
Forecasters warn strong wind gusts could fuel these fires through Friday. In Flagstaff, Arizona, Max Gordon, Fox Weather.
Food and Drug Administration is asking 4 states, not the region, but 4 states, to help in their investigation into claims people became ill after eating Lucky Charms. The agency updated its investigation page yesterday to include the cereal probe for the first time. FDA is asking for assistance from New York, Michigan, Kansas, also Arkansas. The agency says illness claims have increased from 100 to 231 in a week. General Mills insists the illnesses are not linked to the products, but some people who said they became ill also say they received coupons from General Mills. One California state prison taking inmate rehabilitation to a whole new level, becoming the new home to the nation's first ever community college campus behind bars. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork has more on the groundbreaking program breaking barriers and helping prisoners advance their lives once they're released.
Good grades, high SAT scores, and club participation are just some of the standard requirements for getting into college. But to be a student at Mount Tamalpais Community College, well, admission starts with a prison sentence.
As far as we know, Mount Tamalpais College is the first and only fully accredited independent college with a main campus inside a state prison.
Officials say this is not a social experiment. It's a real college where the campus just happens to be inside a state prison in San Quentin, California. The institution has offered college classes here since 1996, but This year marks the first time it's received accreditation by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges.
They didn't think that the individual inside of prison was getting a quality education when we actually was getting the top of the line education.
And accreditation is a big deal. It adds validity to the courses being taught here and gives inmates an easier time transferring the credits they earn to another school after their sentence is served.
Having one accepted accredited college, all of a sudden more people might be more open to the idea of like, hey, what if we try this revolutionary idea somewhere else?
Students have at least 60 liberal arts courses to choose from as they work towards their associate's degree. There's capacity for 300 students each semester. Prisoners must have a high school diploma or a GED in order to begin college classes. By the way, none of the death row inmates are eligible. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
A bit later, Depp's return to court.
Actor Johnny Depp back on the stand, answering questions about his past substance abuse. I'm David Spunt outside the courthouse. That story coming up.
Well, we had scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms for us popping up during the afternoon into the evening hours. Some severe thunderstorms. These were mainly hailers, but actually dropped quite a bit of hail in spots in our northern counties. Temperatures really warmed up today as well. The humidity, it got kind of muggy out there once that warm front lifted through. Mid to late morning temps are still into the 70s. Winds are going to actually keep our temperatures up just a little bit for us tonight. South winds at about 10 to 20, and these will actually increase a bit as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Let's go outside. We're sitting at 73. Humidity is at 73% as well. And all those scattered showers and thunderstorms that popped up earlier today, these are gone. So we look pretty good now, but these were pretty intense as they lifted north and then kind of turned off toward the right. But they did produce quite a bit of hail. You can see Bourbon County up toward Pleasanton, Vernon County, Barton over toward Lockwood, Greenfield, Stockton Lake, all picked up some decent amounts of hail as these storms are rotated through. Not too much going on out there right now, but here's our next storm system, the western third of the country, and that's the system that will start to affect us by the time we head into the weekend. So we do have a severe threat. This is Saturday, not tomorrow, Saturday, especially on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, mainly after 3 p.m., 3, 4, 5 o'clock. But we're going to have a threat all night long as we continue to get showers and thunderstorms. As of right now, I'm going to keep all the threats low. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow and see if we need to raise any of those threats. All right, only upper 60s for us tonight. Quick warm up tomorrow. Partly sunny skies. We're going to go all the way up into lower 80s by the time we head into the afternoon. So starting at 65, 76 by noon, high temp 81, south winds at about 15 to 25. All right, tomorrow night we do get some mid and upper level clouds that start streaming in. So we are going to have a lot of clouds on Saturday, but most of the day looks pretty good. We'll approach 80 once again by the time we head into Saturday afternoon. Here's 4 p.m. Spotty thunderstorms start popping up and then increase, especially in our western counties down through Oklahoma. These are most likely going to go severe pretty quickly. And then we'll just have bands of showers and thunderstorms, very heavy amounts of rain will push in as we head into Saturday night. And then once the front gets in early Saturday morning, that will cut off any chances for additional severe weather. But that's our next event that we need to keep our eyes on, so we're going to alert the days up late Saturday into Sunday. 81 tomorrow, partly sunny skies, near 80 on Saturday, a little bit cooler early next week, and then thunderstorms return again late in the week.
Yeah, some powerful punches coming up.
Yeah, I mean, May is only a week away.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Doug, thank you, as always. Coming up in sports, Missouri Southern Baseball opening a big conference series at Northeastern State. Plus, the Northeast Vikings are undefeated through their first 12 games of the spring. Going to hear from the team on their hot start after this break.
The Pittsburgh State Guerrillas have been one of the best teams in the MIAA all season long, but they've hit a little rough patch in the last week. The Guerrillas have dropped 5 straight games to fall to 17-10 in conference play. Tonight, Pitt State's on the road trying to get things turned around in their series opener against Newman. That's what they did. Guerrillas lead from start to finish to win this one 7-3. Trey McClellan goes 2 for 4 on the day with a 3-run home run in the first. Missouri Southern also on the field tonight. They begin a big 3-game series at Northeastern State. The Lions fall today 14-4. Matt Miller goes 2 for 3 on the day for Southern with a 3-run homer in the 7th. Well, the Northeast Vikings hit the field tomorrow in a big Three Rivers League matchup against Southeast. The Vikings host the Lancers, aiming to stay undefeated this spring. The Northeast heads into the matchup with a perfect 12-0 record. On the other side, the Lancers are 7-1. And the Vikings are still perfect because they can kind of do it all. They're batting .556 as a team with 10 home runs, and they're averaging 16 runs per game. But in the circle, sophomore Shelby Underwood has been unbelievable. She's 9-0 in 11 appearances with 86 strikeouts in just 43 innings.
She has been such a workhorse, I'll tell you. She's pitching every day. I make her go home in ice because we need her arm. And she rises to every challenge. We've taught her a couple new pitches, and she never complains. And she goes out there pretty much with a smile every time.
I think my changeup has improved the most. I learned a new one, and it's really helped. And I've struggled trying to find so many changeups, but I think my changeup is a big deal, and that it has helped me throughout the whole entire season.
I love seeing that our team is scoring runs and backing her up because it just shows that as a team we can hit and we can do other things. It's not just, you know, our pitching and our catching or our defense that's working. It's everything together.
Well, 2 of the hottest softball teams in Southeast Kansas meet tonight in Frontenac. The Raiders hit the field this afternoon in a non-conference matchup against the Chanute Blue Comets. Frontenac is 9-1 to start the season. On the other side, Chanute is 10-2. Avery Johnson, outstanding in the circle for Frontenac. Johnson strikes out 7 of the first 8 batters she sees today. Now in the 5th, offense helps her out. Abby Beeman pulls one into right. Maddie Lejadas trots home. Raiders up 5-0 with that. Back to Avery Johnson. 13 strikeouts in the first 5 innings. The freshman throws a 1-hitter, finishes with 15 strikeouts. Frontenac shuts out Chanute tonight 8-0. Chanute Frontenac also a good one on the baseball side tonight. Comets on a 4-game winning streak, trying to knock off the 9-1 Raiders. Frontenac scores 6 in the 5th inning tonight to come back and win it 9-5. Alex Williams gets 2 hits and a pair of RBIs for the Raiders. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Third straight day, actor Johnny Depp on the stand testifying as part of his $50 million lawsuit alleging ex-wife Amber Heard defamed him in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed about being a survivor of domestic abuse. Depp's name was never mentioned, but his lawyers maintain it damaged his reputation and caused him to lose work. Fox News correspondent David Spunt is outside the courthouse in Fairfax, Virginia, with details of his testimony.
Another day of stunning testimony from actor Johnny Depp, as lawyers for the actor's ex-wife, Amber Heard, tried to derail Depp's defamation suit during cross-examination.
I said that I had had a glass of champagne and I had taken a double dose of the narcotics, of the opiates. That's a very different thing from being drunk.
Heard's attorney, Ben Rottenborn, focused on Depp's drug and alcohol use.
And you would sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings too, right? During this time period.
Isn't happy hour anytime?
He attempted to paint a picture of Depp's behavior. Rottenborn showed a photo he says is of the actor passed out, holding a melting container of ice cream. Another photo allegedly of Depp's cocaine-laced table, and this recording of the actor. Heard's team also claims Depp had a bad temper.
You've trashed hotel rooms before simply because you've had a bad couple days and an unpleasant time, correct?
I have assaulted a couch or two, yes, sir.
They recalled a 2013 text from Depp to another actor where Depp said he wanted to burn Amber. Depp says he never physically or sexually assaulted his ex-wife and testified she was the aggressor in their relationship. When Amber Heard takes the stand, she's expected to testify she only hit Depp in self-defense. In Fairfax, Virginia, David Spunt, Fox News.
Coming up, a look at the new movies now playing those big screen theaters, also available for at-home streaming. From an epic saga to an animated adventure and comedy, all about a legendary actor starring that legendary actor. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has a look at what's new in theaters.
I will avenge you, Father. New in theaters, Alexander Skarsgard leads The Northman. He also produced The Passion Project and has had a long-time fascination with Viking sagas.
I think it was inevitable. I'm Swedish. It's kind of in my DNA. We have an old family home in southern Sweden on an island called Öland in the Baltic Sea, and there are over 160 massive rune stones on that island.
Nicolas Cage, oh my God! The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent stars Nicolas Cage as Nick Cage, paid to attend a fan's birthday where the CIA recruits him. Cage notes differences and one similarity to his character.
This is a story of a narcissistic, career-minded actor who's going towards a sensitive family man. I start with the family man in my own life, and I never had a career. I only have job, I only have work. That's how I choose to look at this. I would say that the biggest similarity is the humor.
It's a buddy comedy full of self-referential laughs and movie references for Cage fans. Are you okay? Co-star Lily Sheen discovered some Cage classics while doing the film.
Every 2 minutes there's another reference to one of his movies, you know, so I got to be able to kind of discover Wicker Man, which I'm so happy that I did.
We're the bad guys. It's crime time, baby. The Bad Guys is voiced by Sam Rockwell, Anthony Ramos, Craig Robinson, Mark Maron, and Aquafina, as notorious criminals on a mission to convince the world they're turning good. I broke time. And in series, Netflix has Russian Doll Season 2, HBO's Barry is back for Season 3, and HBO Max has The Flight Attendant Season 2. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That'll do it. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Going to leave you tonight with video of an orangutan cuddling with her newborn at the Oregon Zoo. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.